Did you get the point, whatever we discussed? Are you clear now from the theory session that what we are going to do in this syllabus? Like, what is the thing that you have to learn? Is it clear? Or is there any doubt from the morning session? Because few things I need to get it from there. Guys, I'm waiting for your acknowledgement. Are you clear from the morning session? Hello? Yeah, okay. So keep on chatting or unmute yourself and talk because otherwise I'll not know whether we are connected or not. This is the only way to let your teacher know that yes, we are connected. Fine. So let me share my screen and then we will go ahead with the further thing. So I want to discuss like what we are going to do in this entire semester regarding the lab. Fine. So here is my screen and I'm showing you your syllabus right now. So as we discussed in the morning that this entire syllabus having the code 01CE052 is for dynamic web development. And if we look at the chapter number one is talking about advanced networking. Every unit, there are total 6 units in your syllabus, starting from advanced networking, with client server-based application. Unit number two, which is about connect your application with the database. J2EE and web development. This is a theoretical unit where you are going to learn purely about how your J2EE and web development starts. Unit number 5, which is GSP technology. Hello. I guess I was disconnected. Up till what portion you have understood? Have you seen the practical bits? Yes or no? How is it now? How is it now? Yeah. So, have you seen the practical list? I mean, I was disconnected and I was not aware, but now I have been connected with the other device also. So, soon I'll get to know when I'll come to know whenever I'm getting disconnected. So, I was showing you the syllabus and I was discussing that there are 8 units. Up till which discussion you have listened? Right? I said yeah, there are 8 units, and unit number 3 is the theory session. Have you understand all this thing? Have you gone through it? Have you gone through that discussion? I was connected at that time. Yes or no, guys? I have shown you. Okay, till unit 2. No worries, no worries. So I was telling that unit 2 is about JDBC connectivity. Unit 3 is the theoretical discussion about J2EE. So this is your syllabus, right? Unit 3 is J2EE and web development theory, how it works, right? Unit 4 and 5 purely on the Servlet and JSP technology, which will give you the idea like how your dynamic page can be developed, how we can connect it to the database, and how we can use the built-in libraries. As well, we have unit number 6, 7, and 8, which are focusing on the frameworks available for the Java and being used in the industry. That is Hibernate, Spring, and JSF. So total 8 unit, and from 8 units we do have third unit as a theory. So you can say there is one theory unit and 7 practical units. So total 8. So based on that, we have given a practical list. You can scroll down in your syllabus. Syllabus is available on the university website. If you have not downloaded, you can download it from there, or I'll upload in the e-content also. So you can get it from there also. So you can see over here, we have experiment sets for different unit. So starting from unit 1, we have experiment set 1 for unit 1 Java networking, and there are total 6 programs. For unit 2, we have experiment set 2 JDBC programming, which is containing 7 programs. Unit number 3 is the theory session, so we do not have practicals for that. But for unit number 4, we have experiment set 3, which is Servlet, and there are total 8 programs, and so on. So for each and every unit, we have programs based on the weightage. If the percentage weightage is less, we have kept less practicals in that unit. So you can see last 3 units are like an introductory part. So that's why there are less practicals in that. So this way we have tried to balance the things which are there in your syllabus, and we are trying to give you the hands-on for each and everything which we are going to discuss in the theory session. Fine. So now let us move ahead and discuss about little bit about unit number 1, because as theory has not been covered, I guess I need to do that part also in the lab session. So what we will do is, we'll not discuss everything, but we'll go with whatever is needed, right? So first of all, unit number 1 is about advanced networking, right? So let us understand what is this unit. So before that, you are going to answer me, what do you mean by network? Any one of you. You need to answer me, what do you mean by network? Anyone. Either in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and answer. What is network? Come on guys, I guess you have learned, right? Networks is done, right? What is computer network? Am I audible? Okay. Shivanand is saying network is something like a group of communication and many things. Yeah, that's true. But can we simplify? Yeah. Connection between two machines, Viraj is saying. Shyam is saying it's a platform where many devices or people are connected. Obviously, people are not connected. Devices used by people are connected. So virtually people are connected, but physically devices are connected. Okay. Viraj is saying connection between two machines. And Palak is saying computers which are connected with each other for communication. Yeah. So we say in a more technical manner, two or more devices, two or more autonomous, sorry, autonomous. When I say autonomous, I am saying the devices which are similar in the nature. For example, if I say laptop or mobile or computer, these all are the autonomous devices, right? So we said two or more autonomous devices connected with each other, right? Via via wired or wireless medium, right? Either we will have wired or wireless medium in order to have the communication, right? So this is what we do, right? This is what the network is. It connects two or more anonymous devices through wires or wireless medium, wired or wireless medium, and using that we can have the communication. Now this is the definition, but why we do this? Why we do this? Any idea why we do this? To share the information. Yeah. To share. Exactly, Shivanand, to share the information. So to share the resource, which could be either a hardware or it could be piece of information, right? So either you share the hardware. So the resource can be either you are talking about the hardware or it can be a software or a piece of information, right? So either a hardware resource or a software resource we are going to share when we have the networking. So this is the major purpose of networking. We use networking to share the resource, and this resource could be either the hard disk space over a server, or it could be some textual or image kind of information which we are taking from particular web resource, right? Now when I say networking, you have learned that devices are connected, and this connection, how we can establish the connection, how we can establish the connection, any idea? Have you learned the OSI model, right? We see it either will have TCP or we will have UDP connection. Yeah, through the three-way handshaking, but not always if I'm using the UDP. Viraj, if I'm using UDP, there is no three-way handshaking. But if it is TCP, we'll have the three-way handshaking. So can anyone elaborate the TCP and UDP? Little bit, whatever you know, as per your understanding. Anyone? Any thought that comes in your mind? It's not necessary to be right always. Sometimes giving wrong answer will also clear your thoughts. Like I'm asking like how TCP and UDP is working. See, we started with the discussion that we are going to discuss unit number 1, advanced networking. So I ask you what is network, because once you understand what is network, you can understand what is advanced networking, right? Then we discuss why we need the network, right? So we say to share the information or to share the resource, right? Hardware or software resource. And then I'm asking like how it is sharing the resource. So I only answered like using the OSI model, we can follow either TCP or UDP protocol. because protocol defines the rules, how the communication will happen, how the data transfer will happen. So now I'm asking you, can you elaborate the TCP and UDP? Anyone? Yeah, Raj Kumar is saying TCP is connection oriented and UDP is connectionless. And as TCP is connection oriented, we will have three-way handshaking. We'll have the, as Virat said that we'll have through a three-way handshaking, we can share the information. That's totally right. As well, the second difference, Shivanand is raising the point that TCP works in bidirectional, which means that we can send and receive data at the same time. Whereas UDP is working in a single direction. So when we are not much bothered about taking back the acknowledgement, we'll be using the UDP. And usually UDP is used when we want to broadcast the information without bothering whether client is acknowledging or not, whether client has successfully received or not. We are not managing any three-way handshaking in UDP. Fine. So this is how it works. Now, let me ask you a very simple question, which we discuss in the theory also today. How website works? Like asking the networks in between. I mean, we discussed this in the morning, but still, I want to get it back because we have to uh, clear some part of that. How website works? Like how you are getting the response. And yeah, so somebody is saying, Viraj is saying, a user will send a request to the server by HTTP protocol. Very good. This is the first thing which we do. What is the first thing which we do? We send a request. So you send a request either by typing an URL. Do you know that? This is the first thing which we do. We send request, right? Client send request. So how client will send the request? Either typing the URL or clicking somewhere. Once, if it is the first request, then you will type the URL or you will click somewhere. Do you know that when you type for the first time, when it is first request, this is my first request, google.com, right? And now when I search something, let us say advanced networking in Java. Fine. So it's giving networking in advanced Java. That's fine. Both are same. This is now something which I want to search. So when I click on enter, it is giving me this. Can you see here? Now the same URL is having certain parameters which has been taken. And this request 1 was the URL typing. And request 2 was click on the search button after giving the input. And that input is being taken as a query parameter. It has been taken as a query parameter and it has been sent to the server. See, search was the button. So search, we said Q. What was the query? Query was networking in advanced Java. So can you see that text clearly? We are sending this input. We are giving this to server and server is searching in the database and then it is generating the response. Actually, when you type this query, networking in advanced Java, at that time, a select query will be generated Maybe in the database of Google, we'll have some table which is contained and it would have written select star from the content where description like. We know that anywhere the word networking advanced and Java is there, we want to do that. So for that we would have like probably it would have been something like this: select star from the content where description like, and we know that this is how we write it: advanced Java, right? Something like advanced Java. I guess I have written the correct way. Like is the operator which matches, right? And ultimately what Google does, this query will be run over the server, Google server, and will have certain result set, right? That result set is given back to the client as a response, so server is going to give the response, right? Right? Server gives the response. Fine. So this is how we work, how application works. Client send the request goes through the network to the end user, to the server, and server will give you the response back, right? This is what, in a broader sense, this is what happens, right? We'll have a client, these arrows are network, and we'll have a server. Server is nothing but a powerful PC, right? What client does, client gives some input, so it will go through the input stream, right? It travels through the network, reaches to the server, server reads that, right? Server reads that. So this is server's input stream, something coming to server. This is something going out from the client. So this is client output stream. Can you see this? This is client sends something, so it is sending out. So this is client's output string given to the network. It travels through the network and goes to the server. Server has to read incoming request, so server is getting the input. So this is server's input stream. Now once the request is received, server will run certain programs. It will run certain programs and it will give the response back. For giving the response back, server has to write the output to the output stream, right? So this is what server is going to give as an output stream. And whatever response is coming to client has to read it. Client has to read this. So this is client's input stream and we are seeing it on the screen. Usually, if you are using the browser, web browser, Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer, Opera, something like anything which you are compatible with, in that case, your output stream and input stream are being handled by your web browser. It is being handled by your web browser. But suppose you are not using anything like that and you are going with the very simple program of Java. Do you know that when I say Java, basically there are three variations of Java technology. Java comes in three different flavors. Can anyone tell me those flavors? J2SE, which you learned, Java 2 Standard Edition. Second, J2EE, Java 2 Enterprise Edition. And the third one, which is Java 2 Micro Edition. Some people or some literature and website says it as an Java 2 Mobile Edition. Anything which works in a mobile manner. Mobility means to move here and there, right? Some websites say it's tiny, so they have given the name Micro Edition. But anything is fine. You can say Java 2 Mobile Edition or Java 2 Micro Edition. Here also, some people say Java 2 Software Edition, some people say Java 2 Standard Edition. right? But most of the literature says standard edition, so we say J2SE. Now, when I say J2SE, basically, okay, before that, can you tell me what is software? What is software? Anyone? Am I audible, guys? Just answer me what software. This is very simple question. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Group of instruction given to a system is a program. Let us not confuse ourselves. Let us clear that part. This is what you have learned in the first year. When I say software, it's a collection of programs. And when I say program, it's a collection of instructions. Right? So this is like to run, and basically a program is something which takes the input, right? It processes it, and then it generates the output. This is a program, and to take this, we do have set of instruction or collection of instruction. Some instruction or some method to take the input, some instruction to have some calculation, and based on that, we'll generate some output. Right? So some methods are there to give output to the end user. Now, based on this, if you look at the software, basically we can categorize software into three different ways. I'm talking about software, types of software, right? Based on its architecture, how it works, right? How it works. Suppose software is taking input and doing the process in the same machine and giving output to the same machine, then these are called the standalone software. These are called the standalone software because everything is in the same machine. In a very simple language, these are the desktop application. Some software works like they are going to take the input from the user and they are going to send it through networking to somewhere, right? And over the far distance, some program will execute and it will give the response. These are called the networking software. Networking software, right? Or in a simple manner, web applications, we say, right? Networking software or network projects. Some will work in the tiny devices, right? So Internet of Things and mobile computing, all these are those examples, right? Now, if you look at the Java technology, J2SE is there which supports the standalone desktop application and networking application, right? So desktop based application as well. If you are going with the basic networking, like when I say basic networking software, we are not going to use the web pages, a simple Java program, and based on that we can make a simple networking software using J2SE, right? When I say J2EE, it is total about the web application development. And when I say web application development, we are going to talk about the HTML involvement, database involvement, everything there in the J2ME. That's a web application. Micro Edition works with the tiny devices, mobile devices, but it is not in our syllabus. If you look at J2SE, in fourth semester you have learned it. Though the advanced networking and JDBC, Java database connectivity, are part of J2SE, but it was not there in your code Java. And that's why, if you look at the syllabus, Java advanced networking and JDBC are given first, and then we have the third unit, which is J2EE. J2EE. So what does it mean? Unit number 1 and unit number 2 are part of J2SE. Unit number 2, JDBC, unit number 1, Java networking, are part of Java 2, J2SE. Fine? Fine? So here we do not require any web technology related knowledge. We can simply go with the text, then we can develop a Java program. Fine? But over here, we required the framework. We required HTML page, we required a times database, and then we will write the program. Fine? So now let us move ahead and see what is there in the first program of your syllabus. So look at here. It says write an application which retrieve IP address of an website. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to write so talking about practical number 1, program 1, which says write an application which will retrieve IP address of a given website. Right? Now, understand one thing. Whenever we have any web application, each and every machine will have the IP address. Yes or no? Yes or no? Then and then they communicate, because this is what you learn in the computer networks, that we can learn or we can identify a machine over a network because there are so many machines which are interconnected. So if you want to know that you are talking with Google, if your machine is talking with Google, your machine should know internally what is the IP address of Google, right? Right? So IP addresses are the important thing which you need to know about your particular machine, right? So for that, we do have, for advanced Java networking, there is a package which is known as java.net. Net stands for net, right? Net stands for network over here. And if I want to go ahead and if I want to get an IP address, there is a class. There is a class in the java.net package which is named as inet class. Usually when I say inet over here, inet address refers for the internet address, and internet address is usually the IP address. Fine. So if I want to get an IP address, that is what the problem statement says. Problem statement says write an application which will retrieve IP address for a given website. So if we want to receive the IP address of a particular website using Java program, we need to have certain functions which will give us an IP address, right? So these functions are available into the package. All the networking related packages are available in NAT package of Java. Again, package is a collection of classes and interfaces which contains the method, and we can use those methods directly. Right? So if I want to go with the NAT IP address, I should use the inet address class. So the complete way to access the methods of inet address class is you have to import java.net.inet address. Right? So this will allow you to use all the methods which are available to access the IP address of any host name. Now, when I say www.java.tpoint or www.google.com or www.facebook.com, this is called the host name. This is known as host name. So I can retrieve the IP address of all this host name. So you can see these are the common methods which are there in the inet address class. You can get inet address class by using the get by name method. This is the method signature. We have public static inet address, get by name, string host throws unknown host exception, which means that if we are providing a string argument, let us say I'm writing www.google.com. So this is a string host name which I'm giving as an argument of this method. It will return me the inet address object. An address object is usually the IP address of the string host string provided as an argument. Right? Is it clear? Is it clear up till now? Is it clear, guys? Okay, 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 fine. So let us just directly jump to that. You will have the idea what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it will be like lot of theory, and I don't want that. So moving to the program of inet address. As I said, these are the standalone programs. So you can use a notepad, right? And you can use the various packages. See over here, I have written java.io.star. And this IO package is used with the input output related methods. We know that, Viraj, what is the first point? I mean, which one is the first point according to you? Viraj is asking that would you explain the first point again? I'm fine with that, but what you are asking me to explain again? That method to get the IP address. Don't worry, I'm going to explain it over here. The method to get the IP address, I'm going to explain it over here. So as I said, like we have various classes and interfaces available, and if you want to use their methods, you can import that package. Just see over here, we have taken java.io.star, where IO stands for input and output, and I guess you have learned this in your code Java. When I say system.out.println, println is the method which is belonging to the out class, which is belonging to the out class, and out is having system as a parent class. So the entire inheritance is like we do have system as a parent class, out is the child class, and for the out class we do have the method println, right? And we know that system.out.println is used to print something over the output screen. So all the input output related methods are there in the package java.io.star. Now next thing what we want to do is we want to get IP address of a given host string, right? So for that, inet address is the class which is available in .NET package. So what we have to import is java.net.star. Fine. Now we know that everything in Java revolves around the class. So we'll take public class inet demo. Rules remains the same because this is the same program which you have used in your core Java. So the program class declaration and file name should be same. That's the first rule. The driver class, that is the class containing the main method, should have the same name as your file name. So if my file name is inet.java, compulsorily I need to have a public class inet demo which is holding my main method. Fine. So now inside a class, we are writing the main method, and I guess we are very well clear what is public static void main. Right? This is a starting indication of any program. Even if you have 5,000 lines, your program will start its execution from the main method, right? And now, see, what we want to do is we want to get the IP address. So when I want to get an IP address, there are various methods such as get localhost, get by name, get host name, and get host address. Right? These are the few methods. From that, if I talk about get localhost, when I say localhost, I'm talking about my system. Right? So if I use the get localhost, it will return me the inet address object. And that inet address object is holding the IP address of my laptop. Are you getting the point? It is going to use the, or it is going to represent the IP address of my system. So let us see how. So we need to write inet address A1 is equal to inet address dot localhost, get localhost. So over here, localhost is going to return me my IP address. And that return object will be here in the object A1. Guys, I'm assuming that you are clear with the class and object. So that's why I'm not repeating like how to create an object and all these things. And I'm just shorting the discussion and focusing on the current or new learning only. So as I said that inet address is a class, I need to declare an object. So this is inet address A1, right? And I'm assigning inside the reference of the another object like inet address dot get localhost. So get localhost will return me the IP address, right? Get localhost is the method of the inet address class, and this entire portion is going to give me an IP address for my system, my laptop, which I'm holding in the object A1, right? And then I'm printing it. So system.out.println current system name and IP address is the object A1. Okay, so this will print my IP address. Next thing what we are going to do is we are going to get an IP address of a given website. So what you can do is you can write an IP, you can use get by name, because get by name is going to give us particular host strings IP address. So as we are using the host name, you see www.facebook.com is an host name, so we have to say get by name. So by this name, by the name Facebook, it will identify the IP address and it will return us. Again, get by name is the method of inet address class, and it accepts a string as an argument, host name as a string. So we have given in a double quote www.facebook.com, right? So again, taken an inet address class, created the object A2. Now A2 is representing the outcome of the code inet address dot get by name, which is taking the Facebook as an argument. So this highlighted line will return us the IP address of Facebook, which is there in the object A2. So finally, I'm printing that object system.out.println by method using A2, right? So let us change it, and I'll say that Facebook IP. Okay, fine. So this is an object A2, so I'm just displaying it. Now, if I am going to suppose I have IP address with me, right? So we know that internally the IP address is just a number, right? And if I'm using that IP address, I can use the get by name, and get by name is taking that variation also, right? And if I have an IP address, I can just take the get host name method, and I can retrieve that reverse thing. I can get the host name of that particular IP address. So what I'm doing is I've taken an inet address A3 object. I said inet address dot get by name, and I am taking an IP address. Fine. Now what is happening? This IP address 157.27.7.35 was string over here. This was a string, yes or no? Because get by name accepts a string, but I want to treat this string as an IP address, and that's why I need to assign it to the object A3. Understand why we have trying to get this? Because whatever get by name takes, it's a string. And what I want to do is I'm saying that this is not a string, this is IP address. And that's why I'm saying inet address dot get by name. I have given the string. Now the string will be converted or treated as an IP address. So my inet address A3 is holding the IP address 157.240.7.35. Fine. And I'm displaying it, right? I'm saying bye. From IP address, right? From IP address, we are going to get the host name. So this is, I'm using a3.get host name. So it is going to give me the website name for this IP address. So we are doing the reverse thing. We are giving the IP address and now we are taking the host name. Fine. And if a website is having the multiple IP addresses, usually with the Google it happens, right? It is having the multiple IP address. And let me tell you, this was working fine before 2-3 years. Now they are not giving us. Even if we are trying to get all by name, it is just giving a single IP. They have changed their policy to expose all the IP address to the requesting client. So that's why it is now giving a single address. But before 2-3 years, when I was delivering this subject, it was giving me the multiple outputs. Right now what I'm doing is I need multiple addresses, so I need to take an array. I have taken an inet address array. I said that array name as host. So now host is holding multiple IP addresses. So I am using inet address dot get all by name. So get all by name is a method which accepts the string argument of a host name, and whatever are the available IP addresses, it will be returned. So if it is having the multiple addresses, it has to return the multiple IP addresses, right? So all those multiple addresses will be there inside an array. As it is returning the multiple values, it will return the array of objects of inet address type, and that's why we need to assign it to an array. So over here host is an array. Now we know that for loops variation is there, which is available only with Java. You can map or iterate a particular array if it is there without like specifying the initialization. Directly it will take it and it will copy it, right? So what we have done is we have taken for loop inet address, we said IP address colon host. So whatever the array elements, host 0, host 1, host 2, if there are 3 elements, all these will be copied inside IP address for the access. And that's why we are displaying that IP address in the system.out.println. Is it clear? Everybody, is it clear? I got answer from Viraj. What about others? Okay. Okay. Fine. So Shivanand, Nancy, Palak, Raj, Viraj. Okay, fine. So if I execute this, as this is a simple Java program, I can execute it from the CMD command window. Right? First thing, how to compile? How to compile a Java program? Anyone? How to compile a Java program? What is the command? Exactly, javac filename.java. So I'm typing javac javac, and I had the file name inetdemo.java, right? Oh, I did a mistake. That's in curly braces, which is extra or something. Let me check. This is for loop, this is main. I forgot to close my class, so here I'm closing it. I am saving it again. Okay, and let me compile it again. Right, there you see process. Now it is compiled. Can you see this? It has compiled successfully. Now how to run it? What is the command to run it? Exactly, Shivanand. We have to write Java and the file name. You see, now it is giving me Google's all the IP address as well. This is something like MAC address or something. Can you see this? Can you see the output first? We use the first method, which is for local host, right? So it is giving me the name and IP address of my system. The second thing which we used was we provided the host string Facebook, and we try to get the IP address. Can you see the Facebook IP address? Right? And then we did the reverse thing. I said we will use the IP address. So the IP address which I have used was of Facebook. So can you see this? It is giving me the host name, facebook.com. The IP address which we gave here, get by name 157.240.7.35. This is for Facebook. So that's why it is giving me this output. And then we use get all by name. Get all by name. So it has given us a 2 elements for Google IP addresses. Is it clear? Any doubt, any question? Okay, so if it is clear, today we'll keep up to this and you can implement this program. Right? So what would web application work? Then we moved ahead in the discussion and we said that we have software as a collection of program, and we said it accepts the input processes and gives the desired output. And then we said that to implement networking, we required a J2SE components because it is having the API to hold which is holding the packages of network related classes. Program where we retrieving the IP addresses of all given website. And we say to retrieve the IP address, there is a class inside your .NET package, which is inet address. We use various methods of get by name, get localhost, get host name, and get host address. So these are the few methods which we have demonstrated in our program. Any doubt, any question? More theory about the network we will discuss later in the theory part. But as of now, we have to just focus on the needed discussion for implementation of our program. Okay, so if you don't have any question, try to implement this program.